Michigan State beats Youngstown State 41-24. And the encouraging thing about this compared to Michigan State's game last season against an FCS opponent is Michigan State's offense looks better, and it was against a much higher quality team than Prairie View A&M. The problem is that you allowed 24 points to an FCS team, and USC's on deck with an 11 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff, 8 p.m. Pacific Time kickoff this Saturday. This game was played without defense. Obviously, Youngstown State allowing 41 points. Their defense didn't have a great day. That was to be expected. Michigan State's defense looked really porous. Before I resume, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bells, and comment your thoughts down below. I love your engagement. Don't just hit the notification bell for my main channel. Hit the bell for any team playlists attached to the video if interested. If your team is not there or you're not interested, please navigate to my home channel page. Check out the playlists tab. Your team will be there if it's a Power 4 team. And hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I cover that specific team. If you want additional content, bonus content, sign up as a paid member of the channel with the appropriate tier. I also give priority reply to members. And check out our Discord server. It's free. You get to interact with me. I get to pop in there. And the Discord server will notify you when we go live or when I upload videos. Though, I thought Michigan State would cover pretty easily here. I was a little bit shocked that Youngstown State was able to move the ball in the fashion that they were. But ultimately, Michigan State emerged with a win. And they're 3-0. They have back-to-back 3-0 starts. We'll see if they finish 2-7 as they did last year, if they finish better. Look, I got a lot of pushback by saying Michigan State's defense had major concerns against Boston College. I got a lot of pushback from that on that from Spartan fans, and I want to ask you guys again, and this is as someone who likes Michigan State, thinks they're often disrespected in a really good program. Do you have concerns now? Because, oh boy, if Youngstown State can score 24, USC can theoretically score 70. Not saying they will, but look at USC's offense. You got to play Penn State, and Penn State is running for like 6 yards per carry while they don't have any passing offense because they're hiding the playbook. Look at Michigan with what they just did with Bryce Underwood. Look more than Michigan, because that's a rivalry game. Anything can happen there, especially since it's in East Lansing. Indiana is running for 300 yards per game. And they have a potential first-round quarterback in Mendoza, according to some. So, this defense has issues. It just does. There's no way of beating around the bush. They have issues. They do. There's no denying that now. You allowed Youngstown State's quarterback to average 7.1 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 10 yards per completion. Bo Brungard Jr., he had a higher passer rating against Michigan State than he did against Mercyhurst. I don't even know what a Mercyhurst is. The defense is putrid. Now, I'm not placing all the blame on Rossi. I think their run defense is better, and last year's pass defense wasn't much to brag about either. You saw the Ohio State game where MSU could not get off the field to save their life. I know it's Ohio State, this is Youngstown State. But their pass defense was not all sunshine and roses last year either. Lonergan's probably a better quarterback than Castellanos and a better quarterback than I certainly expected in the preseason. But there is something up with this secondary. I think losing Brantley is definitely a big part of it because Brantley was really good for MSU last year. You had him and Martinez. So the secondary as a whole in talent is worse. D-line and linebacker I think is better though. I think the reason why Youngstown State was able to run for about 4 yards per carry sack adjusted is because that secondary is such a wart on the team that you can pass to establish the run against Michigan State. And I think that's the biggest concern here. It would be one thing if Michigan State could stop any rushing attack with a light box and their secondary was bad. Then they could get a few stops here and there, and teams that didn't have effective passing offenses would really be limited against this defense. It's kind of what that's at times what the 2021 Michigan State defense was. At times, though, in the aggregate, no. This defense kind of reminds me a lot of that unit, where great front seven, pass defense is just horrific. And that's not good. It's not an encouraging sign. Especially since this team doesn't have Kenneth Walker. They have a better quarterback than Thorne and Chiles. Marsh is probably just as good as Jaden Reed. Their tight ends are probably just as good, if not deeper and better. And their run blocking O-line is better. But they do not have a Heisman caliber player on that roster. They don't. So that on top of Michigan State struggling to run and really dominate Youngstown State's front, that gives me concern for Big Ten play. Michigan State is going to be a team that if they go bowling or have a winning record is going to have to win a lot of close games, which is what I projected them to do in the preseason. And thankfully with UCLA having their coach fired, and I think Maryland is still a hot mess even though they're 3-0, Michigan State should have 2 guaranteed wins on the schedule in Maryland and UCLA. But I don't know if they're guaranteed. And you still have USC, Nebraska, Indiana, Michigan, you have Iowa, you have Penn State. Yeah, like, you have some tough games. You have Minnesota on the road. Almost forgot about them and PJ Flex Squad. So things have to get fixed, and they have to improve pretty quickly. Chiles was your leading rusher. Also, obviously, your leading passer. And he had only 1 touchdown, also threw a pick that really wasn't his fault, but was the fault of the offensive line, who's been very suspect in pass blocking. All that to say, you have a wonderful QB, you have wonderful skill players, your O-line suspect in pass pro, but it's really good in run blocking, I think, and you do have a good, competent defensive front. But there are some really critical issues that this team has. Special teams, I think, is special in the sense of, are they elite? No, but they have a functional punter. They made 2 field goals in this game, and Amari Kelly is clearly a great returner. Pass defense, yet again, is horrid, but I don't think we have to talk about that more than we already have. That's beating a dead horse. Overall, Michigan State starts off 3-0. The next home game they have will probably be sold out unless USC and Nebraska collectively blow them out. I don't think that'll happen. We'll see what happens against USC. It's going to be a massive test, not just for Lincoln Riley, as Michigan State's probably his toughest opponent yet, but an even bigger test for the Michigan State Spartans. Thank you so much for watching College Football with Sam. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bells, and comment your thoughts down below. Again, for the notification bells, don't just hit the bell for my main channel, hit it for any team playlists attached, or if you're not interested in those teams, navigate to my channel homepage, to the playlists tab. There will be a playlist for your favorite team if it's a Power 4 team. Hit the notification bell for that playlist so you can get notified when I mention them or talk about the conference broadly that they reside in. If you want bonus content, sign up as a paid member. And our Discord server is totally free. You get to interact with me and several other diehard football fans in there. So do those things. Most of them are free. And if you want to go the extra mile, there's always the Patreon page and YouTube memberships.